A very good evening to all of you, my dear students of class 10, section ABC. I hope you all will be very fine and healthy also at your residence and will be studying. As you are a board student, so you should be very careful regarding your study and try to utilize this time period in a maximum way as much as you can. Okay. 100% please try to utilize this time period in the best way. That is very important time period. Now see, as we all know that there is a famous proverb that you should wake up when the others are sleeping. Okay, you should wake when the others are sleeping. This is the time period for your preparation. I do not know how many of you are serious about this, but you have got a golden time to revise your syllabus, to have a command over your syllabus. Don't wait for the school reopening. That okay, somebody on some day the school will reopen and then we will go to school. Then the teacher will come and discuss everything in the class. No, the time is coming that on one day you will see that the time will come. On that day, all the classes will be taken from houses. There will be no need of taking any kind of opportunity to go to school and teach you. A time will come when everything will be done from house, from residence. So, if you have got this time, try to utilize it in your best way. Okay, we were discussing the characteristics, the merit of federalism. Federalism, the characteristics of federalism we are discussing with a special reference in Indian context. So from up to which point we have finished it all? I think the third one, the jurisdiction of the respective levels of tier government are specified in the constitution. Yes, we have discussed this thing. Then the fundamental provisions of the constitution cannot be unilaterally changed. That thing all we have also discussed. Court have the power to now the sixth one, the fifth one, sorry, the fifth characteristic, page number 15. Page number 15 we are going to discuss. Court have the power to interpret the constitution and the power of the different levels of the government. Now, if we discuss about federalism, then we find that court, Supreme Court in India or state court at the, High Court at the state level, have the power to interpret the constitution of India. Okay, and the powers of the different level of the government. It can also interpret it can also explain the power of the different levels of government. The highest court acts as an umpire of if disputes arise between different level of government in the exercise of their respective power. Now, the Supreme Court of India works as an umpire. Have you seen an umpire in TV? While you see some matches, some tournaments, okay, then you find that in football match or in hockey match or in cricket match, there is an umpire to decide what is correct and what is incorrect. In the same way, I can say that Supreme Court plays a role of an umpire for what? For deciding that if some kind of dispute between state government and central government comes in court, sources of revenue for each level of government are clearly specified, ensured its financial autonomy. Again, I told you that the sources of collecting tax, imposing tax, okay, have been clearly written in the Constitution of India. Okay, so this is also a very important characteristic. Now the point number 7, the federal system thus had dual objectives. Okay, now we can see the federal system of India has dual means by of two objectives. Both type of objectives. What is number one objective? To safeguard and promote unity of the country. The number one objective of our country, of our This one federal system is to safeguard and promote unity of the country while at the same time accommodate regional diversity. Now two roles are there. The main role of federalism is of 2 point. Number one, number one, to safeguard and promote unity of the country. What is number one role? To safeguard and to promote the unity of the country while at the same time accommodate regional diversity. We have to balance the what we have to balance the unity of the country, and we have to balance the accommodation of the regional diversity. Therefore, two aspects are crucial for the institutions and practice of federalism. Governments at different levels should agree to some rules of power sharing. They should also trust that each would abide by its part of the agreement. An ideal federal system has both aspects, mutual trust as well as agreement to live together. You know, live together. So now what has been written in these lines, that government at the different levels should agree to some rules of power sharing. 100% the things that have been clearly specified in the constitution, that you will utilize, you will enjoy this power, you will enjoy this power. So we should respect the power sharing of another institution, another level of government. They should also trust that each would abide by its part of the agreement, and they should also trust that a specific institution will enjoy only the powers that are shared for it in the constitution. It means it will not try to cut, or it will not try to disturb the power of some another institution. So an in ideal federal system has both aspects. So an ideal federal system has two type of objects. Number one, mutual trust. Common trust with one another, and agreement to live together. An agreement to live together. Both will have trust and both will live together. The exact balance of power between the central and the state governments varies from one federation to another. Now this proportion of power, the exact balance of power, this is little bit differ from each democracy to another democracy, or from each federation to another federation. Okay, the exact balance of power between the central and the state government varies from one federation to another. This balance depends mainly on the historical context in which the federation was formed. Okay, this balance depends mainly on the historical context in which the federation was formed. There are two kinds of routes through which federation have been formed. The first route involves independent states coming together of their own to form a bigger unit. Now we have to analyze this one. Sorry. This balance, what the balance? The exact balance of power sharing between the central and state government varies from one federation to another. Okay, this is simple line. This balance depends mainly on the historical context. Okay, in which the federation was formed. Yes, this one good. The balance, that how, what kind of power should a province government enjoy, or what kind of power should a central government enjoy, it depends upon the historical background of those institutions. If there is a historical background where the provinces have played a great role, or where the provinces have played an important role, then 100% provinces will get some special sort of things, profit. And if provincial government if central government has played an important role in the previous history of that country or that federation, then 100% central government will get some more power. So thus it is said that this balance depends mainly on the historical context in which the federation was formed. There are two kinds of routes through which federation have been formed. There are two kinds of routes through which the federation have been formed. The first, hmm, the first route involves independent states coming together. Okay. Now the first rule, the first thing, the first, criteria involves that the first rule involves independent states coming together on their own or form a bigger unit. Okay, so they may come in front from their own behalf, or they may take the help of some another states also, and they may form a bigger unit of state, so that by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity they can increase their security. Okay, so that what is the purpose of it? So that by pooling identity, है ना, so that by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity they can increase their security. I mean, just having their own sovereignty and retaining own identity, they can save their, they can increase their security. This type of coming together federations include the USA. Now we have to understand the example of USA. Okay, we have to understand the example of Switzerland, and we have to understand the, we'll have to understand the example of Australia. What is special in USA federalism? I mean, on the name of nation, on the name of nation, all 51 states are same. But if the thing comes about their own, own area or own territory, then they are totally free from the central government of America. This is, these things, I mean, they are totally sovereign. Suppose that, see, in India, although in India the power sharing has been done, okay, I agree, but even then state government has not been totally left independent, that it can think or it can take any decision what it wants. Even then there is the command of central government, there is a supremacy of Supreme Court of India. But in America, usually what happens, the state government is totally sovereign, of each state government is totally sovereign, it's totally free to make all the law and rules and regulation for itself. But ultimately they are the part of USA, they can't go out of USA. Okay, so this is, this type of coming together federation include USA, Switzerland and Australia. In the first category of federations, all the constituent states usually have equal power and are strong vis-a-vis the federation government. Underline this one, strong vis-a-vis the federal government. Okay, underline this point, very much important. The first category of federation, all the constituent states usually have equal power. Okay, in such kind of category, all the constituent states, all the provinces have equal power from the constitution. Okay, equal power from the constitution and strong vis-a-vis the federal government, and they plays a very eminent role in strengthening the central government or the federal government. The second route in which a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. Now see, the second route in where a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. Now think, what is the second route, what is the second way? In second way, the state government, the common people decide that what kind of power should we give to state government and what kind of power we should give to central government. Okay, it's part between the constituent state and the national government. India, Spain, Belgium are example of this kind of holding together federation. Now two things are there, one is coming together federation, दूसरा second thing is holding together federation. There is difference. Coming together means at the time of crisis we are united, after the crisis we are independent. But holding together, once you are the part of federation, then you will be the part of federation. You are not allowed to go outside. You are not allowed to take independent decision. Okay, I mean, we all are interlinked, so the decision will be taken for the benefit of all. So the countries like India, Spain and Belgium are the example of this kind of holding together federation. Am I right? In this second category, the central government tends to be the more powerful vis-a-vis the states. Okay, so in this second category, as in India, the central government seems to be more powerful in comparison with the states, while in the first route, the equal power sharing was available from central to central government as well as to state government. Okay, so please understand, in holding together federation, all the powers, I mean, the power sharing is in the proportional level. Central government is more powerful while the state government is less powerful. But in coming together federation, all the states have equal power as the central government has. In this second category, the central government to be more powerful vis-a-vis state. Very often different constituent units of the federation have unequal powers. Okay? Very often different constituent units of the federation have unequal powers. Some units are granted special power. Okay? So sometimes it is seen that a specific institution or a specific, group has been given some special power, or usually central government is allotted more power and state government or provincial government is allotted some less power. Then glossary, the word jurisdiction has been given, the area over which someone has legal authority. Okay, jurisdiction means that area where which someone has legal authority. The area may be defined in terms of geographical boundaries or in terms of certain kind of subjects. Okay, the area may be defined from two point of view. The area may be defined from some geographical boundaries or from some subjects, certain kind of subject. Okay, so this is this is called jurisdiction. Then what is the next heading? What makes India a federal country? Okay, what makes India a federal country? So we should start that we have earlier seen how small countries like Belgium and Sri Lanka face so many problems of managing diversity. 100% in the previous chapter we have seen that how the difficulties were faced by Sri Lanka as well as by Belgium for maintaining its unity and diversity also. What about a vast country like India, which have so many languages, religions, and regions? What are the power sharing arrangement in our country? Let's begin with the constitution. India has emerged as an independent nation after a painful and bloody partition. Soon after independence, several princely states became a part of the country. The constitution declared India as a union of state. Article number 1. India shall be union of states. Article number 1. Although it did not use the word federation, the Indian Union is based on the principle of federalism. Now, this is the informative passage about the Constitution of India, the government nature of India, governmental nature of India. Let's begin with the Constitution. India had emerged an independent nation after a painful and bloody partition. Okay, soon after independence, several princely states. How many states were there? 563, 562 states were there. Okay, 562 princely states were being merged in Indian Constitution. Sorry, in Indian Federation. Then that is why the article 1 of Indian Constitution says that India shall be a union of states. Okay, the Constitution declared India as a union of states, although it did not use the word federation. Although in Indian Constitution, federation word has not been used, but we have all the characteristic of a federalistic country. We have all the merits of a federal country. Okay, so we should know this thing, that although the word federation, the word federalism has not been in our country, okay, but we have all the characteristic of a federal country. And article 1st of Indian Constitution says that India shall be union of states. So this is sufficient for you today, I think. Now what is your homework? You have to write about what do you mean by coming together federation. Point number 1, what do you mean by coming together federation? With example you have to prove. Question number 1, what do you mean by coming together federation? Question number 2, what do you mean by holding together federation? And question number 3, write about the characteristics, write about 5 characteristics of federalism, write about 5 merits of a federal system. Okay, federalism, write about the key features, 5 key features of federalism. This is your homework. You have to complete it and show it to me soon in your WhatsApp or in your Google classroom. You may submit it. So I hope you will see it, and you'll have a little bit knowledge about it also. Thank you for joining me. Take care about yourself. We'll meet in the next video.